Hey guys, welcome back to Lavendaire. It's Eileen. Super excited to see you today because it's another week of our Dream Life series. So we're going to focus on manifesting and trust today. And by the way, if you're just dropping in and you haven't caught up with the series, there will be info down below on how to join the series and catch up. So our last video was about taking action towards your dreams, which is super important because you want to be working towards what you want. But the good news is that while you're taking action towards those dreams, the universe will actually meet you halfway and start to support you in your journey by bringing you new opportunities or new connections, things that will help you in your path. If you take a look at every successful person's journey, you'll notice that there are instances of luck. So there are times where this person might have been in the right place at the right time, or they might have met the right person who later on, after a few years, gave them an opportunity. There are all these things that happen in our lives that are actually outside of our control. So I think if you would ask any honest, successful person, they would say that they did not 100% create their success. Definitely, like, something else helped them along the way. Yes, they took action and yes, they worked hard, but opportunities came to them and things just happened for them in some other ways. So I personally experienced this in my career as well. It's definitely not all me. I believe that there is a divine force. There are just some things that you can never have planned on your own, and they actually will probably be better than anything that you could have imagined. You can choose to call it God, the universe, luck, or anything else, but there is this invisible force that guides us in our journey, and it is possible for us to co-create with that force. So today I'm going to talk about how you can channel your thoughts to create the reality that you want and how to let go and trust the universe in your journey. Yes, I'm talking about the law of attraction. So if you've never heard that term before, feel free to look it up. I've made a video about law of attraction before, so I'll post that down below. But basically, the law of attraction is a universal law. It's a spiritual law that states that energy goes where attention flows. Also, another way to put it is whatever you focus on will grow and expand. Basically, it just reveals how powerful your mind is at controlling, shaping reality, and how you can really channel your energy, channel your attention into growing whatever you want to grow in your life. So the bottom line here is you become what you think about. So your thoughts have so much power in creating reality, more than you think. And if this is your first time hearing about law of attraction, you might be skeptical, it might sound strange, but definitely go into that rabbit hole, look up quantum physics, because it shows the power of the conscious mind. Like, things in a scientific experiment will change just by the observer, whether there's an observer or not. So I'll list resources and that experiment down below, but it is pretty interesting. So I think, why not use this information to your advantage? If you choose to not believe, that's fine too, but I choose to believe in what works for me and supports my journey.
So if the law of attraction is so simple, then why isn't everybody living their best life and have everything that they want already?
Well, the problem is that most people are trained to focus on what they don't want without even realizing it. So we focus on our fears, we focus on our worries, we focus on our stress, and when we do that, we create more of that stress, worry, and negativity in our lives, and it just kind of stays in that cycle. You can't dwell on your failures and fears if you want success and happiness. So don't focus on what's wrong, focus on what's right, and then that will create more of that positive energy and bring more of that into your life. So now I'm going to give you some specific tips on how to manifest in your life, because there are some kind of rules here. So first, you have to be very clear and specific about what you want. And the keyword here is specific, because you can't just say oh, I want to be happier, or I want to make more money. How much money do you want to make? And by when do you want to make that money? And what does happier look like to you? Break it down and be super specific about what that physically looks like. It's best to write this down somewhere, because you want to state your intention, whether you say it out loud or you write it down in your journal. If you've gone through the series, then we already did this in episode 3, clarify what you want. Number 2, use present tense. So the wording matters. When you're writing down your intentions or even saying it to yourself in your mind, make sure to use the present tense as if you already have it. It's kind of not natural, because you're well, I want a car. I don't have the car yet. But the way the law of attraction works is you have to act as if you have it already. And that's how you kind of bring that energy to attract that thing to you sooner. Instead of using terms like I want blank or I will blank, use terms like I am blank or I have blank. And the difference between that is phrases like I want or I will are kind of in the future tense. When you say I want something or I will do something, it's implying that that's in the future and that's not what you have right now. So if you keep saying like I want this, I want this, I want this, you might not ever get it because it's always in that like, oh, I want it because it's so far away. But when you start saying, I have this, I have that car that I want, I have the dream home that I want, then you're creating this like attraction. You're sending out the message to the universe that, you know, it's yours already. And so that's how you bring it to you sooner. And that brings me to my next point, which I already mentioned. It's act as if you already have this thing. Act as if it's already a reality. You want to be able to imagine it so vividly and feel like that goal is already real, it's already happened, because then you're kind of creating that tension between what's real and what is not real yet. And when you create that tension, things will happen to help you get there faster. The last step in manifesting is to simply let it go. After you've been clear about what you want, you've stated it in present tense, and you're feeling it, visualizing it, imagining it, you have to learn to just not care as much. You have to detach yourself from that desire. And it sounds weird and counterintuitive, but it's just a weird way that the universe works, that you have to not care as much about it, kind of like release that control, and don't hold on to that desire so hard that you're like, oh, it has to happen. It has to happen. Just let it go. Relax. Do your thing, keep planning, keep taking action, and then let it happen in its own time, in its own way, because that's just the magic of the universe. We can't control it. We can only do so much. We can only set our intention, put our thought and our energy out there. And then the rest is really up to that invisible force that we have no control over and no explanation over. So that's why we are just half of this equation, okay? But that's the best we can do, and it's more fun to learn to be carefree. You have to see manifesting as a fun thing. It's kind of like, what if it happens? What if this works? Like, wouldn't that be amazing? So why not give it a try? So once you're living aligned to your true path, there will be signs and clues that tell you that you're on the right path. And this is something called synchronicities. I definitely recommend you look into it because I won't give a great explanation, but synchronicities are just like coincidences or just peculiar things that happen in your daily life that make you feel like, like the chances of that happening were so low, like why did that happen? There's really no explanation for it. And I see synchronicities as a sign from the universe that you're on the right path. So you might see it in different forms. Any repeating numbers may be signs from the universe, whether you want to believe that or not. I personally think it's fun to believe that, because when I see like 1111 or 222, 333, 444, 555, like it's kind of like I feel like the universe is smiling to me. I feel like, oh, you exist. Like, thank you for existing. And I just feel more aligned, and it's like a weird way for me to like say, oh, hello. I remember that you're here supporting me in my journey, and I use that time to kind of be grateful that the universe is there supporting me in my journey. Might sound wacky to some of you, honestly, but I mean, it is what it is. I don't know about you, but personally, I've been seeing more and more synchronicities in my life in the past year or two. I think the more you start to notice them, the more you will find. It's just one of those things, like wherever you focus on, it will grow. And it's just a funny thing. Let me know in the comments if you've experienced synchronicity in any way, whether it's like seeing those repeating numbers or also like having random coincidences happen in your life all the time. There are a lot of resources to look into if you're really curious about this topic. I'll link some down below. But in general, I just want to remind you that the universe has your back. As long as you are doing your best, putting in the work, taking action, the universe will meet you halfway and support you in your journey. It will bring you opportunities, people, experiences, things that will help you and things that you could never have created yourself. One of my favorite quotes is by Ariana Huffington. It's, life is a dance between making things happen and letting things happen. So your life is not 100% you. Like, there's part of it is you're putting in the work to make things happen, but the other part is like letting go and letting things happen. That's where the universe comes in, and that's where you have to learn to let go and trust a little bit. You know, trust the universe has your back. Trust that everything will work out for its greatest good. Trust that everything will be okay in the end, and you don't have to worry as much as you are worrying now. I promise you. I think humans tend to worry. We tend to want to control everything. everything. We want to tend to be able to see exactly what's going to happen, but that's never the case. You're never going to be able to predict everything, and the best way to deal with it is just to learn to let go and trust. Trust that you are exactly where you're meant to be right now, and as long as you keep moving, you put in half the work, the universe will put in the other half, and that's how you create your dream life. All right, I hope you like this episode. Let me know your questions and your comments down below. I'm really curious to see what you guys think of it, because I know some people might be like on this and some people might think it's super weird. So this is like a polarizing topic, I know, just like my other video, Raising Your Vibration. That was a very polarizing video topic. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoyed it, and I hope you got the pure intention that I wanted to share through this video. And now let's take a look at my favorite post from you guys.